All right, we are live. Welcome. This is Peter Voogd, founder of the prestigious Game Changers Academy, and thanks for tuning in to our monthly Millionaire video series where we interview the world's most elite and successful entrepreneurs, CEOs, entertainers, and real game changers. People that I have massive respect for, and those who are making a difference, not just in their industries, but in the world. And Sean is a top YouTuber, international speaker. A lot of you guys already know who he is. He's a coach that helps entrepreneurs build their influence and income with online videos. His YouTube channels have over 700,000, but I just found out, Sean, actually it's over 1 million between your channels. Over 45 million views he has. He's been featured in Forbes and almost every publication. I've had a chance personally to work with Sean, and him and his team are world class. Now, on top of doing all this video content, he also released a book that's crushing it right now, which we'll talk about. And also he did his first event. I believe it was his first, one of his first. But everything he does, he goes all in and he crushes it. And there's no one that I know that has their pulse on video, on marketing, and on online branding like Sean Cannell. So I'm excited to have you, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking the time.
Dude, Peter, thank you so much. Super honored to be with you and the Game Changers movement. Massive respect for what you're doing. Love the mixtapes, love the movement, love the content. And I know that like the community you've built is absolutely world-class. So I'm honored to be a part of it.
I appreciate it, man. And it's funny that when you reached out when I was in Vegas, the first thing our team does, because obviously we both get reached out to a lot, is research and make sure obviously they're the real deal. And the instant you reached out, we're like, oh, this guy's definitely the real deal. Look at his content, look at his videos, look at how he operates, look at all the audience he's created and all the raving fans. So much respect to you for what you've built as well. So let's start with this, Sean, because I don't know if people really are grasping and understanding the power of video right now. I mean, maybe you feel like people are grasping, but I don't think they're really grasping what we're sitting on going into 2019. So what's the importance of video marketing and social media going into this year?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like most people are not woke yet to actually what is happening around the world. You know, it was a couple years ago that Social Media Examiner found out that video is people's preferred content format of choice. Cisco did a study that said, you know, 90% of the internet is going to be video by 2020. That's already happening. And of course, video is the dominant content format on every social network now. I mean, Instagram's embracing video, of course, Snapchat's video, but Facebook is doing video, Twitter is doing video, and everything's increasing even how much video you can do and live streaming. And then of course, at the center of it all is YouTube, now with over 2 billion monthly active users. That's with a B. 2 billion people around the world. There's something like 74 countries and native languages that like YouTube is in. So it's an international platform that you can distribute any message you want to get the word out about your nonprofit, your business, your personal brand, your products. And so people got to be using it. Now, a lot of people are, but I don't know if they're using it quite to the level that we realize. We're going to look back on this time in history, and I think we're going to regret if we don't go all in. And that's what I've been doing over the last years, and it's revolutionized my life. And now hundreds and even thousands of people in our community that are taking it super serious to see, I got to master video. I got to figure out the tactics, the strategies, figure out my on-camera presence. And even for some of the game changers, or like maybe you don't even want to be on camera, like every business needs to be using video. Identify some talent, identify somebody to do it or some way to get it done. But to not be using online video is irresponsible as an entrepreneur. I believe that with my whole heart.
So do you remember the tipping point for you? You've been in the video for a while and you're way ahead of the curve, as a lot of influencers have shown through talking about you. But do you remember the tipping point? Like what did you focus on back then to realize like this is the future? Or has it been just recent?
Yeah, the tipping point for me actually was back around 2009. See, I got into video in 2003 before social media started, before YouTube started. And I was actually volunteering at my local church. I was an intern and they handed me a video camera and Adobe Premiere. So I started to edit and shoot video.
Wow.
And that's amazing because it did give me that head start, right? I was able to put out, I like to encourage people, your first videos are going to be your worst videos. And I got to put out like hundreds of practice and just like these videos for my church or whatever. And then by 2009, I started a business called Clear Vision Media because now self-taught, I was doing wedding videos. I started working for like YMCA, Phil Smart Mercedes in the Seattle area. And it's funny. I know your kind of roots in the Northwest as well. So I was in that same area. I'm doing that. But then actually, Peter, I hit the hardest season of my life. And I think that pressure and when things kind of are falling, apart around us, we can either get bitter or we could get better. And really what happened, I mean, right in the housing crisis, 2009, we started to lose our homes and different things because my wife, actually, we were dual income. She went on a trip and got really sick. And since that time, we've been on this journey of dealing with chronic illness and some different things. And then the housing crisis was falling apart because of our finances. And then actually at that church I was volunteering at, there were some failures in leadership, which I'm sure everybody can relate to, whether that's in their company or their business, when like your people you trusted or thought you could, follow and stole some money and stuff. So all of this stuff started falling around us. And my wife actually almost died. She ended up in the hospital for 6 days. But Peter, during that time, I actually one day, now I'm like, man, as a man, I got to level up. We're dual income. I'm like, I got to really provide. I got to be a game changer. I got to figure something out. And then I'm like, what are we going to do though? And so I went to Barnes & Noble, bought a Success magazine when she was sleeping one day, and it flipped to the middle. And the interview, back when they had the CDs and you put that in your computer and you listen to the interviews, the interview was with Gary Vaynerchuk. And he was talking about his new book, Crush It, and like why now is the time to cash in on your passion. So the next day, this 6 days that my wife's in the hospital, right? I'm downtown Seattle. I go and I buy Crush It, and I read it in the hospital. And that was actually the spark that I didn't know actually what to do next. I just kind of knew like, man, I got to figure this thing out. And then I'd been on YouTube, I'd managing YouTube channel, but I got serious at a whole nother level. And that was sparked by my life circumstances and really tapping into deeper purpose. I know you always talk about reasons come before results. 2009, my reasons got so strong, my family, my faith, and this realization like, man, I got to seriously make some serious finances, like health bills. What are we going to do? Plus with the economy shifting and all this different things, I can't just dabble anymore. I have to dominate. And since 2009, I've been all in, and I struggled for a lot of years, going to courses and listening to podcasts and trying to learn every single thing I could about online marketing, YouTube, affiliate marketing. And of course, you go down so many dead ends and invest in BS courses and different things. But through that, I found like the kind of the pathway that worked for me. And that was originally how I built a 6-figure income just with YouTube and affiliate marketing.
That's a crazy story. I didn't know that full story. First, you got tested, like crazy tested, where not tested where someone called you out or you were failing, but tested like your family was struggling and in trouble. And then you got what you said that I want people to conceptualize. You got serious on a whole nother level. There's a lot of people dabbling and studying video, and they're like, let me get this course, let me buy Sean's book, which will help. But getting serious on another level is where there's no other option. Christy says, how do you start with just one thing when you have so many passions and so many ideas?
Yeah, I think you have two options there. Number one, you do need to niche down. So you could either niche down by picking just one thing, making one promise like I do. I'm going to help you learn video and learn like the tech around video. But if you were to go broader, treat your YouTube channel or your brand like a magazine. I mean, Peter, like when I say GQ magazine, do you feel like that's a clear brand? It's 100% clear. It's a men's magazine, luxury, high fashion, whatever. But inside of it, you see some summer recipes, cocktails for your next thing. You see the latest movie reviews, you see some fashion tips, but they've put it in a cohesive brand and a cohesive theme. So where people make the mistake with variety is by not casting a clear vision for how it all connects together. But I think you could have interviews. You could talk about, even food and recipes if it's in the context of energizing yourself as an entrepreneur. But if you're like, it's a cooking show and then it's entrepreneur tips and then you're teaching people how to garden, well, that doesn't make sense. So I think that variety can make a lot more sense when you build a cohesive theme and think of it kind of like a magazine, Cosmopolitan, whatever. Those are super clear brands, but a lot of variety lives within them. And one of the biggest things is algorithms are always changing. So YouTube subscribers are important, but every once in a while, people are like, oh, I'm not getting notified, or the distribution there gets more crowded. So you never want to be building your brand only on rented land, right? And so YouTube is technically rented. Twitter and Instagram, these things could change. I've often wondered, Peter, like, imagine if Instagram one day was like, you know what? It's no longer going to be free. You're going to have to pay $1 a month to use Instagram. Bro, I would do it. Everybody would, right? And instantly they would create, you know, $2 billion of revenue a month. But the point is, you just don't know what's going to happen in those platforms. So building your email list intentionally. And then one other nuance about that is, do not, though, give a call to action away from every one of your videos. This is a great tip to end on. Time on platform matters. So winning on YouTube, old internet marketing was always like piece of content, get them off to a landing page, get them on an email list. The new school, I think, is you want to go on like 6 to 12 dates first, and then get engaged, and then get married later. Like really, and what I mean is, so watch a YouTube video. At the end of your YouTube video, give a call to action to another YouTube video, so that it's like, hey, if you enjoyed, like, if you love this, well, then you want to do this. It's something that we actually adapted from Brendan's circular viralocity. I call it circular video viralocity. And it's this idea that, like, you're like, oh, well, now you learned about what camera you need. Well, you want to probably look at lighting first. So go watch my lighting. Now you know about which lighting you need. Well, then learn about how to actually build your channel. Okay, now you want some views. All right, now, and then eventually it's a call to action somewhere else, but it creates this circle of traffic by sending people to the next relevant piece of content that would follow up that current video. So now someone's maybe hung out with you for 1, 2, 3, 4 videos. And Robert Cialdini wrote, I'm saying his last name right, who wrote Influence and wrote Persuasion, highly recommended book. It's kind of, I think, the new school strategy in 2019 to understand there needs to be more time before the close, if you will, like before the, like, let's get married, to like, yo, slow down, bro. Like if it was dating and relationships analogy, like, it's not like, nice to meet you, will you marry me? It's, let's go on a date. Let's go on another date. To me, that's them hanging out on YouTube for a while. And then eventually it's like, okay, I trust you. Let me go watch that training. Let me go to that deeper level with you.
Hey, Tien, great question. And thanks for answering that. That was huge. And it's value, then ask. And I think you're doing it right. So, by the way, guys, I would highly, we got these for our inner circle. I would highly recommend his book. You can get it on, is there anywhere else they can get it besides Amazon? Do you want them to get it on Amazon or on your website or what?
Yeah, Amazon's perfect. There is legit bonuses on tubesecretsbook.com, but you could just grab it on Amazon. Audiobook's coming out a little bit later this year and a few other things. But yeah, ebook or physical book, Amazon.com, and all the Amazons around the world as well, the local Amazons. Thanks
for your obsession with video and with doing what you're doing and impacting the millions of people you're impacting. It's definitely making a huge difference in my life, in these game changers' lives. And I look forward to personally building our relationship and strengthening that in the future. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you, your brand. And I look forward to continuing the conversation, man.
Dude, absolutely. And likewise, Peter, like seriously, and truth, like I got this playlist now of some of my favorite Ambition is Priceless songs from the mixtapes. I'll start a lot of my mornings with that stuff. Like, it's legit. I'm recommending it to a lot of people, and you know, even helping me plan my year out and stuff. Like, really love what you're doing. I've studied your work and appreciate you at the highest level. So super pumped to collab this year.
Thank you, man. Right back at you. I look forward to connecting again in Vegas. And game changers, thank you guys. And I'll tell you right now, you have to make sure you focus on mastery. Pick 1 or 2 things Sean talked about and put that at the forefront of your mind, and make sure you go all in on just that. He talked about some amazing stuff. This is one of my favorite calls, one of the most tactical calls. I have 2 pages of notes that I'm going to sift through and really simplify. But I challenge you to take this seriously and understand the power of video. And like he said, it's irresponsible not to put these videos out there, put your brand out there, and understand what's happening the next couple of years. So thanks for being a game changer. Continue to think and act like a game changer. Have an amazing rest of your day. We have some amazing stuff coming up, and we'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.